Very important that you read, that you learn how to read all the information that is given to you in cold press, and the amount of detail that you can get with it is fantastic. Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Beatriz, and today we're going to be talking about something really important if you want to be successful in watercolor, and that is papers. Now, before we get into it, let me do two small disclaimers. These are not by no means the brands that I'm going to be talking to you about, or the papers that I'm going to be talking to you about. They are not by no means the only ones. These are the ones that after 20 years of teaching, I have seen my students be very successful with them, and also these are papers that I myself have painted. Now, there are many brands on the market, and some new ones that have come recently. Maybe these papers are available where I live here in the United States, but maybe where you live, they have other ones. So because of that, I'm gonna tell you what to look for in order for you to know that you're getting good quality paper. Because expensive paper doesn't always relate to good quality paper. So we will look into that. And the second disclaimer is that I am not affiliated with any one of these papers, meaning I am not sponsored by them and I'm making no money out of them. This is just papers that I have used. However, if anybody is listening and they want to send me some free paper, I'll take it. The subject of watercolor paper, I could be talking to you for a day about it because it has so many nuances. Don't worry, I don't want to put you to sleep. The subject of this video is not that. But today we're going to be talking just about the basics of what you need to know in order to buy good quality paper. Now, watercolor paper is especially made for watercolors, so that's the one that you want to buy. Reason for that is like the surface of the paper usually has been treated with a sizing, which is a substance that allows for the water to get in at the right speed. Remember, when we're painting in watercolors, we are painting, but it's also the water who is painting. Watercolor papers are made out of usually two different materials. One is pulp. They can be from wood or from different things like that. And pulp made paper is good to use, especially if you are doing a lot of trying a lot of techniques like loose edges, hard edges, glazes, things like that, then that's okay to use for that. The second material, the watercolor paper, is 100% cotton, and that is the one that I use. That is a very good quality. How do we buy watercolor papers? Well, we can buy them in pads. A pad, sometimes it can be like this, sometimes it can have like a curly thing, and it's sheets of paper. They are loose, only attached on one end. This is probably your most available way to buy watercolor paper, and one that a lot of people who start painting in watercolor paper will use. You can open it up and then just do your painting here, although I don't recommend to do that because water can slip and then it will ruin all these other pages there in the bottom. So what I like to do is remove one of them, which they are easily removable, and then just get the sheet, put it in a board and attach it with your masking tape. That way you will also get less buckling when you are wearing your paper. This you can find in any art store, and this is a very good way to start buying this type of paper if you're gonna get starting into watercolors. They come in different sizes. You can buy them in bigger, smaller, even smaller than these ones. So you have a big variety of choices when it comes to how to buy your pad. The other way that you can buy watercolor paper is a block. Blocks are the same, but what it is all the pages having gum or glue and all the sizes of the block. Now it is a tiny little bit opening here for us to remove the painting once we are done. The advantage of getting a block over buying a pot. Well, you can paint with this without having to put it onto a board and having to tape it. The disadvantage, well, they are more expensive. And the last way that you can buy watercolor paper is in sheets. So when we buy watercolor sheets, we're referring to a loose sheet of paper. I don't know, let me see if I can show you. This is the standard size here in the United States. The standard size here is 22 by 30, meaning 22 one side and 30 on the other one. And you can make a big painting like that, especially, actually, if you want to paint bigger, you can even buy rolls of watercolor paper. But with a sheet, you can paint this size. You can cut it into half, which it will be like half a sheet of paper, referring to that. Or you can cut it into fours, and then you will end up with a quarter sheet of paper. Meaning, if I put 4 of these, I will end up with 1 big sheet of paper. Another important thing to look for watercolor papers is their weight. Most, especially if you buy blocks or pads, and sheets as well, but in these ones they will tell you what is the weight of your paper. The standard size is usually 140 pounds or 300 grams. 140 pound watercolor paper is the standard. It comes in different sizes. You can get it to 300 pounds. Using the 140 pound paper, you are going to be really good painting with that one. A standard 140 pound, go with that one if you can. And now I will just like to take a minute to talk more about the weight of the paper. Again, some of them are 90 pounds. I don't even have those to show you. They are very thin and not worth it. Then 140 pound, which is thinner, more flexible, but great paper. And then we have the 300 pound paper, which is thicker, more than double actually, of this other one. If you are a beginner, you don't need to worry about this, mainly because it's a paper that is really expensive, so there's no need to use all, to incur into that expense. You could put the money, will be better suited if you're getting brushes or paint. Having said that, I love this paper. I wish I could paint all my paintings on it because the water behaves very beautiful, and I mean it takes more water, therefore it takes more paint than painting a 140, but it lays flat. You don't have to, it never buckles, you don't have to stretch it. A lot of times I don't even tape it. But if this one buckles, there are ways where we can make it flat, and I will show you, that will be the subject for another video, how to do that. But 300 pound, beautiful paper, good to use too. Another important characteristics of watercolor paper is their surface. Some of them are what is called hot press, which it is very, very smooth. This is it's a very, very smooth type of paper. I think that is called hot press because they put actually a hot plug on top of each sheet of paper before they manufacture it. With hot press paper, the paint goes very smooth. It dries very, very fast, but the colors are always very bright. However, one of the problems that people will encounter if you are not careful is that when you have dry paper and you go in to put a second glaze, if you are not careful, as you move, if you move the paint, then you can remove, well, let me use a different color so it'll be easier for you to see. Sometimes if you come with a lot of water or you go more than once, then it's easy to remove the paint instead of staying on it. Now, how you avoid that? Just by going lightly. The next one is probably the most used watercolor paper. This is the paper that the majority of watercolor artists. Let me show you how cold press behaves when we apply some paint into it. With cold press paper, is the paper that has more tooth. We can see the color goes beautifully, but we can start seeing how it gives us some of those white sparkles. They can give us beautiful texture, and they are so characteristic of this paper. This is a wonderful paper. Although it is true that with hot press paper you can get a lot of details, botanical and whatnot. You can have the same thing with, let me show you, this painting was done in cold press, and the amount of detail that you can get with it is fantastic as well. So cold press, a great all-around type of paper to use. And finally, the rough paper. With rough paper, see, the paint, it will require a lot more water. Let me get a close-up. And we can still see all the valleys for making beautiful texture. And finally, let's just talk about some of the brands that I use. This is made by Hamilue. It's the Harmony, and I probably mispronounce it. Excuse my pronunciation. But this is pulp paper, and it's actually a very good type of pulp paper. I use it, and I have very good results. This brand makes 100% cotton paper too. It just is referred to it by a different name. Canson is another one that I like to use. Be careful though with Canson. Canson makes some good quality papers, and then he also has a lower tier of paper that is not good. But Canson is a good brand if you get the good kind of it. I also use the Lantern. The Lantern is made by Daily Rowney. This is very good paper. I like it. It behaves really good. My paints behaves in the water as it should. So this is another good kind. And then we have Arches paper, or Arch, depends who you ask. Some people pronounce it one way or the other. This is my favorite type of paper. It's probably the one that is more used by artists. I love it. I use it, I would say 90% of the time, especially when I'm making my paintings that are gonna show or sell. Sometimes I use these other ones more for like demonstrations or things like that. But it's also good quality. This is probably the paper the majority of professional artists, watercolorists use. I use it all the time. It's a paper that has been made in a French village since 14 something, in the 1400s. So you can bet that they know what to do about making watercolor paper. Other brands that come to mind, they are very good, is Fabiano Artistico and Saunders Waterford. They got many in the same category. And yes, I'm fully aware that these are not all that it is. These are the watercolor papers that I'm more happy with. I have tried many other ones, and there are many other ones that have come new to the market that I have not tried yet, or that they are in other countries and that I have not tried yet. This is just a sample, but I can assure you that every single one of these are good papers that I have tried. If by all means you know of another one that is pretty good, write it down in the comments and let us know. Yeah, it will give you the brand, but then it will tell you if it is hot press or cold press. It will also show you the weight of the paper, 140 or 300 pounds. Then, very important, it will tell you what it's made of, 100% pure cotton. That is, if it is made out of cotton. If it doesn't say 100% pure cotton, it is not cotton and you are getting a cheap quality paper. Some of them will say pulp, made of pulp, and that's good to get. But for the most part, if it doesn't say 100% cotton or pulp made paper, then you want to stay away from it. And yes, this is the Arches brand, but all the other brands will say the same thing. For example, 140 pound, cold press. Let me get it a little bit closer. Cold press. They also tell you what is the size, and then they tell you that it's made of cotton, 100% cotton. If it is daily rounding, the lagoon by daily rounding, it gives you most of the information here at the bottom. 100% cotton is very visible, so you know that it's good quality. And then as you go here, it gives you what is the weight, and they also tells you that it's made of cotton for a second time, and it tells you that it's cold press or not, like we say, not is for not hot press. So read your covers of your papers, of your pads and your blocks, and make sure that it says that it has the correct information, that you're good to knowing that you are buying the quality that you're paying for. If you are buying it online and you're buying sheets of paper, let me show you what to look for if that. You are buying your paper and sheets, you want to look for they will give you the name and one of the corners. Let me show you here. You can read that it says Arches, and then in the other corners will say Aquarelle Arches. It's embedded. One of the side and the other side has it too. Usually where you can read it, that's the right side of the sheet, although in watercolor paper you can paint in both sizes. This is a different brand. This is 300 pound, and then is Saunders Waterford. So look for the embedded name. And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you have learned something from it. I will see you next time. And I'm gonna leave you now with some of my paintings, and I'm gonna label what type of paper I use for each one of them. Till next time.